So let me start by saying I understand this is a Kickstarter and things aren't always going to work well. And here's one of those examples. The green filament that clogged earlier was apparently, when it pulled through, clogged on the inside of the AMS as well. Taking it apart is not terrible. There are two screws in the back of it that are fairly obvious that you take out, and you kind of have to take the ptfe tubing out and then angle it. And when it comes out, you unplug two little plugs in the back of it, and I kind of took it out and set it on my desk to work with it, which you'll see here in just a few minutes. But it was a pain. Like, it drove me nuts for a little bit. So as we go, I'll kind of point to some of my images and show you some of the basic stuff that I did. Hopefully you don't have this issue when you do it. Here you'll see that's where the ptfe tube actually goes into the AMS. You have to push that in and pull the ptfe tube while it's in it. This would be the bottom of it. I took all the tubings out of it and prepared to take out the 6 screws, well, the 4 around it and then the 6 silver ones out. That way I could pop it off. This would be the back side where, I don't know what that component is, but where that little board is on the back of it. And there you can see where the green stuff was stuck inside of it. I tried removing it without doing that, but it was not coming out. And here you'll see the magnet from hell. There are 4 of them that go in there, and it's a pain. You end up wanting to have another magnet, that way you don't have to worry about them popping out as much. But here's a little video showing how I got them in there. First one I didn't really show you. I think I show you on the second one how it goes in there. You want them long ways, and you want the angled side going towards where the 4 entry points are. That way when it goes in there, it'll kind of brush it and the spring will give it a little give. That way it can push up. But my recommendation when doing this is have some refrigerator magnets ready and stick them on the bottom there. My final setup, I was using tape to hold them in place because the 2 magnets next to each other didn't like that, and you needed at least 2 sets to hold it on the bottom, the way that they're kind of dispersed there with the 4 of them. But you'll see this one, kind of see how I got it in there, and with the other magnet in there, if you have it right, it should just kind of tap in. And then the springs, I kind of held them in place a little bit as I was doing it because they kept springing up on me and having issues. But yeah, that part sucked a lot. Afterwards, I did some testing and I found out that the AMS, it senses it when it's out, but it doesn't really do anything about it. I couldn't find anything in the settings or any adjustments that would let me switch to a different filament while I was printing. I had to actually stop my print, and the way it was in there, I was afraid that it would be stuck in the AMS, so I just kind of kept feeding it in, and I just fed until it was out. It'd be nice if there was a sensor at the midway point on the back where the AMS hooks in, or where the ptfe tube first hooks into the device on the back of the X1. But yeah, so something I think they can improve on. It will be a little difficult, but I think they can find a way. After I got everything back together, it looks like it's printing just fine again and no issues from here. But yeah, it really sucks if you have to take that thing apart. It's not incredibly difficult. It's fairly straightforward when you're taking it apart. The only thing that's not as straightforward is if I actually had to take that PC component off on the back where the board was when the springs and magnets came out. But yeah. Anyway, I should have my other post up. I delayed posting the other one because this issue came up and I thought it was something that was worth seeing. Oh, another issue just before I hop off here. I noticed with the calibration, it was telling me my z-axis was stuck again, and I just kind of moved the bed up a few. If it's all the way at the bottom, I guess it tries to move down, and if it can't move down, it's going to assume it's stuck and it will not move up on its own. So I manually had to move the bed up a few clicks, and then it ran the calibration and it did fine after that.